Good morning. This is Barry Bryson thanking you again for joining us for 5 good minutes in the Word. I really do appreciate you staying with us as we continue our study of encounters with Jesus, and particularly Jesus' encounters with women in John's Gospel. And as we said, his encounters with these women are longer than the encounters generally that we're used to having. Jesus has long conversations and deep conversations, theological conversations, as he did with the woman at the well, and as he did with Martha yesterday. When Martha came and said to him, "If you had been here, our brother would not have died." We called it yesterday a statement of fact, a statement of faith, but it's also an accusation. And yet, like Jesus' mother, the wedding of Cana, she says, immediately after that, "I know that you can fix this." Does she expect Jesus to raise her brother from the dead? I don't know. But she knows Jesus can make it better. Jesus talks to her about how faith is believing in him and that you'll live forever, and talks to her about the resurrection. She tells us that she knows about the resurrection, that she has this deep understanding of God's plan. And Jesus said, "I'm the resurrection. Do you believe this?" And she responded by making that absolute statement of faith, the confession that is more complete than Peter's in Matthew chapter 16. "I believe now, I have always believed, and I will always believe, no matter what happens, that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who has to come into this world and make everything right." It's an amazing conversation. Not all communication happen with words, you know. And we said a couple of days ago when we started talking about Mary of Bethany that traditionally Mary has been seen as the timid one, and I don't think of her as timid at all. She just isn't very verbal. She doesn't presume to look Jesus square in the eye and let him know that she doesn't agree with the way things have gone the way Martha has. She's the one who does things that break all conventions. She's the one who is the voyageur, the explorer, the astronaut who goes places no one else would ever go. She's the one who sits at the feet of Jesus with the rest of the men disciples, even though those men disciples certainly didn't think she had the right to be there. And even though her sister was upset with her for not helping out doing the domestic chores, she went there anyway and she stayed put. And Jesus praised her for it. Tomorrow, we're going to see her do something that is shocking even to this day, but she does it anyway because she loves Jesus and is devoted to him. Today, she speaks her only line in all of Scripture. After Jesus and Martha have their conversation, Martha goes to find Mary and to let him know that Jesus is here. The Jews who were with her in the house, it says, when Jesus had not yet come to the village, he was still in the place where Martha met him. The Jews then who were with her in the house, consoling her, they saw Mary rose up quickly and went out following her, supposing that she was going to weep there. But Mary came to where Jesus was, and she saw him, and she fell at his feet and said to him, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." The only line she has is to repeat what her sister has said and what certainly they've been saying to each other all these days. But she doesn't look him square in the eye to say this. She falls at his feet, which is where we always find her, always at the feet of Jesus. And this is Jesus' reaction. When Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her also weeping, he was deeply moved in his spirit and was troubled. And he said, "Where have you laid him?" And they said to him, "Lord, come and see." And we have the shortest verse in the Bible, and I'm so glad that our translators have set it apart. Just 2 words. Jesus wept. And the Jews were saying, "Behold how he loved him." But some of them said, "Could not this man who opened the eyes of the blind kept this man from dying?" And Jesus was again deeply moved within him and came to the tomb. Jesus' reaction to Mary was literally to tremble and to snort his tears. He ugly cried. And he ugly cried not for some abstract theological reason, but because the pain of these people whom he loved, he'd caused that pain. It was part of God's plan in this sinful world. It had to happen, but he caused it, and he understood that he caused it. And the words of the people who said, couldn't he have saved him, must have cut deeply, because he ugly cried all over again. I also want us to notice that the first thing Jesus did when he saw the tears of this woman whom he loved so deeply as a sister was to fix it. Where have you laid him? That's the reaction of any man, the response of any man when a woman he cares about is crying about something. How can I fix this? Well, we'll see the sisters with Jesus again tomorrow, back again in Bethany, and we'll see Mary do something even more amazing. Thank you for joining us.